Ta-da! And just like that, we're live again, people. Thank you. Thank you for joining the live, I guess. Right. These lives are always fun. We get through quite a lot. There's quite a few questions already in the live chat. I will try and answer as many as we can. Apologies for last week. Quite a lot going on. So we couldn't get it done, but I wanted to make sure we got it done this week. This week being fight week, it's a big one, right? A few people have said this doesn't feel as big as in the fight week as it did last time round in April. And yeah, you're probably right. Last time round was madness though. Like just crazy. The egg slap, the dad, like just everything. It was never gonna be that because those stories have been told. But it's still a big fight. Let's not fuck around. It's still a big fight. I mean, there's still gonna be 50,000 plus at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So it's still a big fight. It's a massive fight. Our undercard is getting not spoken about enough, I don't think. I love the Ishmael Davis Sam Gilly fight, must win for both. I love the Jack Catterall Eko Usman fight. Jack Catterall hasn't performed in his last couple of fights. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Harlem Eubank and Arnold Barboza. Eko certainly performed against Josh Taylor. So I actually make Eko a slight favorite in that one. I do. It's his weight class as well. I mean, he's the 147 guy. He's coming off a career best win. So, look, it'll be interesting to see how Jack looks under Bozy Ennis. But yeah, I think that's being forgotten as well. And also, let's not forget Adam Azim's on this card. Adam Azim takes on Kurt Scooby. That's not a foregone conclusion. If you follow the OTX scene in America, where Kurt's been fighting, you realize that he's not easy work. Adam should get it done, but it's not easy work. All right. Without further ado, let's get into the questions because there are, I'm not joking, there are hundreds, hundreds. But we'll try and answer as many as possible. All right. Deep Random Thinker. I love this name, by the way. Says, what was it like to interview Alexander Usyk after knocking out Dubois at Wembley Stadium? Those interviews with Usyk are always they're tough, but you're almost like just, I don't know, like you feel something special around Usyk. It's hard to explain. The Usyk is this character that you almost feel like he is beyond boxing. So as I'm talking to him, even when I do the sit down interviews with him, I feel like I'm talking to someone that's just bigger than boxing. If that makes any sense. But yeah, they're tough because he has so much emotion after a fight. And obviously English is okay, but it's not his first language. So you almost feel like he can't really say what he wants to say. And when it goes through a translator, it's lost a little bit. But yeah, interviewing Usyk is just phenomenal. Interviewing Usyk after the Fury fight was the one. That's the poster. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see that? Poster there? That was after the first Fury fight. That was my biggest moment in sport ever. Like that fight there, to be the guy that does the in-ring interview for that, sensational. So yeah, good question. Is it within, this is from what's this? JITC123. Is it within a contract for fighters to do in-ring post-match interviews? No, it's not. If so, if Eubank Jr. loses against Benn, would he have to do an in-ring junior? Will he have to do an interview in-ring post-fight, or can he avoid it? No, it's not within your contract. I mean, in recent times, I've actually not interviewed quite a lot of fighters. Trying to think. I didn't interview Joseph Parker, remember, after Fabio Wardley. I didn't interview Dillian White after Moses Atalma. There's sometimes when a fighter's taken a bad beating, but sometimes I'd rather them leave the ring and go and see a doctor. I don't want to interview them. I don't want to speak to them because I can see, and I've interviewed fighters before that are concussed, and I can see they're concussed. I'm like, what is the point of this? So I don't necessarily mind not interviewing all the fighters. Yes, you want to do the winning fighter, but even then, if a winning fighter's had a really bad fight, I'm like, who fucking gives a fuck about what I say to them? Let them go and speak to a doctor. But no, fighters do not have to do interviews. So Yeah, and it won't be me anyway doing the interviews for Ben Eubank. I will be presenting. I'm guessing it's going to be Jamie Ward doing the in-ring interviews. Ade, do you think Javante Davis will fight again? Good question. Good question. I will say yes, because boxing always has a way of fighters just coming back. No matter their situation, it's very rare a fighter just leaves and they're gone. Obviously, look, he's got his own situations now. But I think he's still so valued financially. And if you bring money to the table, boxing has a way of getting you involved still. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does fight again. Is the Zone's Ultimate going to include all pay-per-views that the Zone will broadcast going forward? When I mean all, I mean zero exceptions, i.e. Fury versus AJ. Has to. Like, it just has to. Like, so I'm going to say yes. I mean, I don't work for the top brass on the Zone, so I don't know. I don't get involved in those type of conversations, but I'm going to say yes. It will include every single pay-per-view. I mean, surely, unless there's like fucking small print, it has to. What's this? Super chat here from Craig. I'm going to butcher this surname. Let's try. Bess Wetherick. Bess Wetherick. What do you think? Got it right or wrong? I feel privileged to watch your career grow. Well done from all of us at Google. Wow. Thank you very much. Like, when people say that kind of stuff, I like, it means a lot. Honestly, it means a lot. Because I still feel like there's so much more to come. I feel like we've certainly got somewhere. I'm not going to pretend and say we haven't got somewhere, but I feel like there's way more to come. So thank you. Thank you for the super chat as well. Is Franklin a better opponent for Atalma than Pulev? A KO would be a statement of some sort, given AJ wasn't able to. Not just AJ, Dillian White as well. Yeah, I much prefer it to Pulev. Pulev is still strong. He's durable. But what is Pulev? 44, 45 maybe? Franklin is in that. Although Franklin, I thought, lost his last fight, the record book say it was a win. I think Franklin will give him some rounds. If Atalma is who we think he is, then he gets rid of Franklin. But I like the idea of Franklin. And what it does as well, there is an American market that I want Atalma to get to. And Franklin isn't well known to the American market, but is known. And I think you put a statement beating on Franklin, all of a sudden people's ears are going to get prickly in America and talk about you as well. So I like it. I like it. 2 secs, peeps. This one from Dylan Goodrich. Has there ever been a fighter you've spoken to and you didn't like as a person? Honest thoughts on Eubank. Seems a top guy who you'd want to beer with. Yeah, there's been a few fighters. Yeah, there's certainly been a few fighters who I just feel like just arrogant. There's been a few. There's been a few. But I also understand that if you are a fighter and you're in fight week, the last thing you want to do is speak to me. The last thing you want to do. So I get it. I used to think that Eubank was that. I used to think Eubank was so arrogant. Now I love him. Honestly, now I kind of understand him a bit more. And I think he's one of the best. I think he's gold. I think he's fantastic. So I won't mention, Dylan, who those fighters were, but there's been a few. But it's more fighters that I like and are great than fighters that are just arrogant and stupid. But yeah, good question. Where are we? This Jit guy's got a load of questions in. He's smart. Got loads of questions in earlier. I'm not going to ignore your questions. Do people still want to see Yard Boatsi? Is that a fight more likely if Yard loses to Benavidez? It's definitely lost something, hasn't it? But let's not pretend. I mean, 2-3 years ago, I said that fight quite comfortably does the O2 Arena. Now I don't know if it does that at all. Quite comfortably, both fighters would have got paid good money. I mean, I know we don't like pay-per-view. I know we hate it, but it might have been a pay-per-view fight over here 2-3 years ago. All those things I've just mentioned have gone. Do people still want to see it? Yes, because they are still two good light heavyweights, but it's definitely lost a lot. Definitely lost a lot. And not just because of Boatsi's performance against Zach Parker. I mean, Yard didn't look good against Lyndon Arthur. Yard hasn't looked good, like the Yard that I know is still there, maybe since Beterbiev. Remember Yard? Yard had a fight with someone. I think it was at the Copper Box. Was it the fight he had under Boxer? I could be wrong here. But anyway, that guy took him the distance. That guy just got knocked out in the first round. So Yard's not been Yard for a while, and he needs to become Yard again. I think Yard can cause Benavidez problems, but we need to see something, man. We need to see something. Ade, Eubank versus Benn prediction. I'm going to stay away from predictions. You guys, you know why I'm staying away? Because I get so much fucking shit for giving predictions. Because someone's going to clip this prediction up. Bear in mind, I'm seeing both guys tomorrow for the Grand Arrivals. Their teams don't like it. It's just not worth it. You bet. No, I'm joking. Oh, I can't help myself. Who wins? Boots versus Ortiz. Ortiz for me. Ortiz. It's a great fight, innit? I'm going Ortiz. I think I'm going on who's proven the most at 154 pounds. And Ortiz has fought Boychuk, Madrimov, and Erickson Lubin. 3 top 10 guys. Even Lubin, like I know he got smashed to pieces, but prior to that defeat, he was a top 10 guy. Boots hasn't fought any top 10 guy. But Lima wasn't that. And yes, he got rid of Lima, but Lima wasn't that. So I'm going with Ortiz. I like Ortiz. I love the training camp. I love Robert Garcia. I love the fact that he's in a camp with Jesse Bam Rodriguez, iron sharpening iron. For me, I think Ortiz just, but I mean, could be way wrong here. What's this? Ade, when is G-Man shaving his head and chest? Oh, God. This G-Man head thing, like, guys, leave him alone. This is bullying. This is bullying. Leave him alone. Super chat here from Forest Rangers. Hi, Ade. Just wanted to check. Do we submit our questions on community post or elsewhere? Your content is the best. Thank you for everything you do. And you've put a super chat in. Just ask that question. You could have asked that here. You could have asked that here, Forest Ranger. No. So when the link goes up, you can just put your questions in the link, not in the community tab. So that's a shame. I will find your question. Don't send the super chat question again. I'll find your question. Thank you for the super chat. Normally, when I do the lives on Mondays, the link will go up on a Sunday or Saturday, and just go to the link and you can put your question in the link. So as a few people have done that are very just sharp on it. All right. 2 secs. Loads of questions about telling G-Man to shave his head off. You guys are not nice. Not nice at all. Even though do you think Crawford or Canelo fight again? Yeah, absolutely. Like 100%. I know Canelo's just, I think, had a wrist surgery or an elbow surgery. There's far too much money floating around for both of those guys not to fight. Like far too much money. I guess, like for Canelo, you can. I know it sounds crazy. You can fight Eubank. You can fight Hamza Shiraz. Willie, I don't know, but he can fight those guys. For Crawford, it's a bit more trickier because he's clearly not a 168 guy. Does he go down and fight Alam Kanali, sorry, Lara winner? Maybe. I did see something the other day where he kind of called out Alam Kanali or said he's watching. So maybe that's an option. Not a big money fight though, is it? So for Crawford, it's certainly trickier. Obviously, Crawford's slightly older as well. But Canelo's going to fight until he can fight no more. I think he's one of those guys that just keep on going and going and going. What's this one? Hoot, what's this? Hoot the Dude says, how do they decide at the zone who will be on the broadcast? Is it rotated by availability? Interested. How come you aren't doing this Saturday? I am doing this Saturday. I am. Why did you think I wasn't? I mean, I better be. But I am. I didn't do it last time for other reasons. But I'll say about all of the cards in the UK, I will do. 90% of the cards in Saudi. For example, okay, so I'm not doing Benavidez versus Yard in Saudi. So the zone will decide whether or not the audience for that card is going to be more Americans or more Brits. If it's going to be more Brits, then they will fly out the British team. So me, Barker, Barry Jones, etc. Carl Frampton, maybe. If they feel like it's going to be American card, then they fly out Grisham, Mora, Mannix, and very likely Kate Abdo. If it's an enormous card like AJ Dubois, for example, then they just get what I think is like their super team, if you like. So it'll be me and Kate together, and then it'll be a mixture of the American broadcast and the US broadcast. Does that make any sense? And obviously, for the shows in America, unless they are massive shows, then it will be Mannix, Moore, Grisham, and sometimes, most times, they don't even have a presenter, Emily Austin. But yeah, that's kind of how it's done. But yeah, I will be doing this Saturday. It's going to be me, Tony Bellew, Carl Frampton, and the comms team will be the comms team: Barker, Barry, Adam Smith. All righty. Matthew Shepard, who's got me in his photo. That's me in his photo. Can you guys see that? Says, from your video earlier, that was at the live. He came to the Green Chair live. It was great to see him. From your video earlier, Boots versus Boots versus Ortiz does bigger numbers than Tio versus Shakur purely for one reason. Eddie will shout from the rooftops and clash with Oscar. Nobody will promote. You know what? It's a very good shout. Now, who is screaming for Tio versus Shakur? Like, who, in terms of on either side? Like, yeah, you might be right. You might be right. With Boots versus Ortiz does have the added element of Oscar versus Eddie. Like, there will probably be an Oscar versus Eddie face-off. So you know what? You might be right, Matthew. I was always thinking that I didn't think neither would do massive numbers, but I thought maybe 200,000 for Boots versus Ortiz and maybe 250, 300 for Tia versus Shakur. Maybe. Let's just hope both of them happen because I have my reservations. Mark Wilson, Super Chat says, would you rather Inoue moves up for Ball or wait for Bam? Ooh. Wait for Bam. But the Bam thing's like going to take ages. That's the problem. I don't think Bam is itching to fight Inoue. Like, Bam's comfortable at the weight. Although he's a big guy, he's comfortable. I don't think he believes in just running through weight classes like this. But if you're asking me which fight I would rather see all day long, Bam versus Inoue, like all day long. That being said, I think we know Nick Ball will put it on Inoue. Could get chin, but will put it on. But Bam versus Inoue is just a whole different thing. Whole different thing. That's a great fight. And that's a great question, sir, as well. This is a very deep question we have to think about. Stephen Mackin. Is it Mackin? It is. Says, in your opinion, who was the most underrated fighter in your lifetime? Geez, I personally think it was Steve Collins. Never given any credit for beating both Eubank and Benn. Eubank's first defeat. Yeah, you know, it's because it came at the tail end of Eubank's sort of run at super middle and Benn's as well. That's the issue. It's almost like Benn and Eubank had kicked the shit out of each other. And you chuck in other tough fights they had. You think of Benn, Gerald McClellan. So it's almost like Steve got what most people think is the worst version of them, which I don't think is necessarily true. But that's how it's kind of perceived. I saw Steve the other day. I was with Steve Collins last week Thursday. We was at a charity boxing event, which was packed. Chisora was there, Hay was there, Joe Joyce, Johnny Fisher, and Steve Collins was like a special guest referee. Who is the most underrated fighter? That's a video, that is. I'm gonna have to do a video on this. Who is? I'll tell you, he's not underrated, but I think we've seen this throughout his career. Sean Porter's a problem for everyone. Like, Sean Porter's a problem for everyone. And he might not get the props because in a lot of the big fights, unfortunately for Sean, he came up short a little bit. Kell Brook, obviously. Keith Thurman. Did he beat Keith or lose to Keith? I think he lost to Keith, right? So Kell Brook, Keith, Terrence. But Sean was a problem, man. Honestly, such a good guy as well. So I'm going to go Sean Porter. Israel Gustav says, Ade, I believe Usyk is the GOAT, but only person I think can challenge him is Kabiel. Dude is a body KO artist and would definitely test Usyk's body. If Usyk can overcome him, If Usyk can overcome, hats off to him. Usyk will overcome Caballero, but it's a tough challenge. Caballero's done really good numbers. That fight in Germany, what is it, January the 11th or 10th? Heard they sold 12,000 tickets already. 12,000 tickets already. Like Germany have been waiting for like a big fight for ages. Like me growing up, everything was in Germany. Like you think of all the fighters that were fighting in Germany, and we haven't had a big fight in Germany for a while. So it's good to see that market open up again. So hopefully we're out there for it. Fingers crossed. Ismail Kamara Azoka. Azoka. Who would have done better against the four kings, Floyd or Crawford? Hmm. Boy. Crawford. Only because of size. Crawford's now, we've seen Crawford have the ability to go up with Floyd really maxed out. I know he had the fights at 154, but he's really maxed out 147, where we've seen Crawford fucking get up to 168. So Crawford would have been a bit, well, actually, I don't know, because I think Floyd beats Hearns at 147 and he beats Duran. I don't know. That's a great question, bro. That's a great question. You guys are asking me tough questions today. What the fuck? Where's the easy ones? Who asked that question? Ishmael, I'm blocking you. No more questions from Ishmael. I'm joking. All right, here we go. Are Liverpool out of the title race and are they serious contenders in other comps? And then they failed to win silverware after a 500 million summer. Is this the biggest failure in Calm down. Is this the biggest failure in Premier League history? Chelsea won the title, and the next season under Mourinho getting sacked, they were 10th. Remember, does everyone forget this? Like, come on, man. No. Like, it's like there's almost this forgotten thing that we did sell players as well. I think people forget. So the net spend, although the outgoings is 440, I love the way you rounded it off to 500 million. The net spend is like 441 million. But we did like sell about 250 million pounds worth of talent as well. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Liverpool. I'm so upset by them. What's this one? Absolute Boxing said, would love to shadow you at some stage. You said before to email you, but I know you're busy. I am busy and didn't see it. I honestly don't care what event. I'll fly over from Ireland just for the experience. Shadowing me. I had someone shadow me the other day, actually. I sorted it out for someone to come and shadow me at the Parker Wardley event. Got them backstage, everything. So I do it. I don't do it as much, but I do it. Mainly because sometimes at these events, I'm just like in work mode and I don't have the time to like, are you okay? What are you doing? You right? Watch this. What I don't have the time. But I do think I want to get it done because a lot of you guys I know a lot of you want to see it. Yeah, I might be able to do that. Who would you pick from this generation other than Usyk to beat Muhammad Ali? Absolutely no one. I wouldn't even pick Usyk. So absolutely no one. LFCAE says, hi, Ade, who is your favorite boxer? This changes all the time. Like, are we saying of all time or are we saying now? If we're saying now, my favorite boxer is him, Mr. Dimitri Bivol. If we're saying of all time, obviously it's Muhammad Ali, but I'm trying to think of someone that I watched growing up. Like I was just watching you. And I'm telling you now, yeah, Floyd's a fucking genius. Like Floyd almost doesn't get enough credit because he's so arrogant. But Floyd, when I'm bored, I just put Floyd tapes on and just watch Floyd. And I'm like, do we realize what we were watching? Like we were watching a genius. So I'm gonna say Floyd. Ade, is the Atama versus Franklin a pay-per-view card? No, it is not. Ade, you should do a Eubank versus Benn look back. Ooh. Sir, how have I missed out on that idea? Fuck. That's a great shout. Are you talking? I hope you're talking about seniors. I might do that. All right, let's quickly go. I got a super chat. Dylan Goodrich says, If you had a button to make a current fighter's dream fight happen, who would you use it on? Nathan Heaney for a British European title at Stoke for me. Nathan fights on his card, doesn't he? Have I seen that correct? The Magnificent Seven card. You know what I do? If I had a button that I could go back in time and just erase one fight from a fighter's career and see what they would have done, I would erase Gennady Golovkin from Kell Brook's career. Like I'm so certain that Kell Brook would have beaten Errol Spence. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong because Errol's so good. But the beating he took in that GGG fight, broken orbital, and then stupidly got up to 160. If he was just locked in and serious, honestly, we could have seen something special. It was called Special K. He could have been outworldly special. But it is what it is. All right, 2 seconds. I saw a few questions coming. Let me get George Halpin. How many tickets has Eubank versus Benn 2 sold? Absolutely no idea. And I absolutely do not care. I don't know why we get obsessed with things like this. I've seen some people put it out on Twitter. Oh, look how many tickets are still about. Why do people care about that shit? I do not care about that. Like, I used to, actually. Let me tell I used to. But now I'm like, I just want to see the fight. I couldn't care less. I've seen some great fights in front of a man and his dog. You know, I've seen some dud fights in front of 80,000 people. So yeah, I'm not that bothered about that. I think it will get to or will be around the 50,000 mark. I think last time was 60. I think 50,000, which if it gets to that number, I think is really good, considering that people have already seen it. It's going to be wet, probably. It's November, it's cold. So I think it'll get to that number, which I think is good. But I think we as fight fans should stop caring about tickets sold and shit like that. I'm a diehard AJ fan, but something don't sit right with AJ getting spanked badly from Dubois, and he's moving on from that. He needs to avenge that loss, even if he gets a world title. Yeah, I'd like to see him revisit it. Honestly, I'd like to see him go in with Dubois. I would, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It's not even like being spoken about. Like, you know, all these AJ opponents, what's AJ going to do in the next 2-3 fights? Dubois' name is not even spoken, so I don't think that's even going to be a thing. Who is your pound for pound number one? For me, is Usyk until he retires or loses. Crawford beating Canelo does not top what Usyk has done. Yeah, my pound for pound number one is Alexander Usyk. But again, maybe that's just because I've been so fortunate to have been ringside for his last 3-4 fights. So Fury. I've actually been ringside for a lot of his fights, you know. Ringside for both AJs, ringside for both Furies, ringside for Dubois. He's just too good. I know what I'm watching. Like Crawford's too good as well, but I mean, this guy's beating up giants. Like Fury outweighed him by nearly 60 pounds. And it's not like Fury is, you know, slow, plodding, can't punch, just a big oaf. No, Fury can fight. And he still beat him by 60 pounds. Nah, man. Number one. Thoughts on the Magnificent Seven card? I think it's a good card. I think people have now become, maybe because of Riyadh season, I think people have become a bit unrealistic as to what is a good card. I think Riyadh season has done this to people. That is a good card. Chief support, Willie Hutchinson versus Ezra Taylor is a great chief support. Great chief support. Main event's a good one as well. Italma versus Jermaine Franklin. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So again, I think it's difficult to please people, and I think this is off the back of Riyadh season. If there was no Riyadh season and we haven't got these Super Bowl WrestleMania type cards, and that Magnificent Seven card was rolled out, everyone would be like, "Yeah, fair play." Because of Riyadh season now, I think everyone's like, "Yeah, is that it?" It's a great card. What percentage from Ninja's Rose? What percentage of boxers that have failed drug tests do you honestly think are innocent and it's been cross contamination or something else rather than deliberate ingestion? I would say, what percentage do I think are innocent? 5 max. 5, yeah, max. Why am I getting so many G-man questions here? Um, Big up, man. What's the difference in mentality of boxers compared to us normal people just watching? Can we say throw more punches or work harder if we haven't done the rounds or taken up? It's a great question, isn't it? It's a great question. It is a great question. That's why a couple of years ago I did the weight cut just to kind of experience what it's like having to cut weight and be disciplined. I didn't even have a fucking fight. But they do all what I did and it took it out of me. And then they're going to have a fight. So you can understand why they get upset when people troll them or say some bullshit online. Because what these fighters do, like imagine going into a fight, especially for those that don't get paid much. It's all well and good, sort of giving the guys that get paid millions stick, right? Because ultimately, get paid millions. But for those that just have second jobs, or for those that are doing it just to try and, for a living, like desperate, like, paycheck to paycheck, right? Fight every 6 months and you're waiting for the next 6 months. And then we give them shit. It can be difficult to take. I mean, look, it's part and parcel of the game, unfortunately, but it must be difficult to take. It must be. What's this one? Ade, what's going on with you on Twitter? Let me have a sip of my tea. I'm using a metal straw, by the way, because my teeth are so sensitive right now. Well, I've been having a bit of beef on Twitter with some idiots, some very racist idiots. But it is what it is. Honestly, it is what it is, people. Like for the first couple of days, I was like, what the fuck's all this shit about? And now I'm like, it is what it is. I just can't even give it the energy. So I'd love to give you a full explanation, but I'm guessing if you type my name into Twitter, you'll have all the explanations you want. Hashem 100 says Norman has insisted he has the better jab and ring IQ than Haney. Can he actually outthink Haney, or will Haney's cleaner counters tell the story? He doesn't have a better jab and he doesn't have better ring IQ than Haney. What he does have is belief and a punch. That being said, he's punching at a lower level. So can that punch power carry up? I believe it can, but can it carry up to world level, which Haney most certainly is? It's a good fight. The face-off was interesting. Haney's very, very confident. Norman is quietly confident. I think Haney will get the job done, but he might have to come through something. If he gets tagged, then all those things will come back about Ryan Garcia and all those memories will flood back. So he's just got to be careful. It might actually be quite boring, this fight. I think everyone's expecting fireworks. I don't think it will be. Or we might get a Haney performance like we did against Prograis, where Haney was just far too good and dropped Prograis. So maybe Haney's got, respectable power there. I don't know. Jack CSW says, hey, Ade, feel like this rematch has suddenly crept up on me. Why do you think it doesn't feel as big as the first fight, or is it just me? By the way, was there only one presser? Like, why can I not remember this? Like, when I last time round, there were two pressers, right? There was one in Manchester and one in London. I did them both. Why do I feel like there's only been one presser for Benn Eubank? Or I could be wrong here. I feel like there's only been one presser. So maybe it needed another one. Maybe this needed them two around each other. I don't know. Like last time, if I remember correctly, they're on the Piers Morgan show as well. And that kind of gave it a bit of hype and people started talking about it. So, yeah. Are judges and referees corrupt? I think we live in a corrupt world. So I think that probably answers your question. I reckon the next look back, I think you're saying here, it should be Usyk versus Fury 1 or Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 1. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good shout. It's good shout. Ortega says, "What's up, Ade? Are you going to the Nigerian card with Okolie? Of course. Everything Nigerian boxing I'm involved with. I'm trying to get involved on a bigger scale than just presenting, but we'll see how that plans out. But yeah, I'm going. I don't know when. I might go a bit earlier now. Obviously, there was talks about this white Chisora card on the 13th. That ain't happening. So I was gonna go immediately after that. I might go on that date now, so I can just get out there and just make sure everything. I just want it to look the best. I'm just all I care about is that it looks the best. So I want to get out there and help as much as possible. Thoughts on Italma versus Franklin? I like it. I like it. I mean, everyone wants Italma in there against a killer. We've got to be careful. Italma has only had 5 minutes of action in a year. That's it. 5 minutes of action. So you can't rush this. You can't rush it. I mean, it could be done before it even begins if you rush it. Like there's some people saying he should go in there with Bacoli and look. I mean, fuck me, take my money, but that's risky. That is so risky. Bacoli's had 12-round fights. Bacoli knows what it's like to lose. Bacoli knows what it's like to get a big win. Bacoli, what I'm trying to get at, has got experience, something Moses hasn't got yet. Is Moses better? Probably. But you want to risk Bacoli? 280-pound Bacoli who looks like a truck? Very risky. Very risky. Oh, I didn't know about this. I will now. Thank you for letting me know. Jack McCormick says, Ade, will you be going to the Box Raw Sparring Club, the Lions Den event on Friday after the weigh-in? Sir, yes. Didn't know about that. I will definitely be going to that. That's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for letting me know about that as well. Where are we? Theo Wildridge says, I love your work, Ade. How come you do mainly Queensbury shows these days? I do both. What was, I think, when was the last Matchroom show? Dave Allen. I did that. Was that the last one? I did that Matchroom show. Dave Allen was the last one. I'm doing the Matchroom Ben Whitaker Gavazzi. I'm doing Matchroom Monaco card, which is headlined by Pat McCormack, Connor Walker. So I do them. There's a couple of next gen ones. Well, I don't call them next gen, but those like smaller ones, like You'll Call Beth and the Green ones. I don't do those anymore. So maybe that's what you're referring to. But obviously, all the big shows, I certainly do. Yeah. Good question, this one. Very good question. What is Conor Benn's potential? What does he need to get to be? What does he need to get to be world class? Fights. That's a good start, right? He needs fights against. Well, he needs to decide what weight class he's going to fight in, 147 or 154. If I'm him, I would try and chop my leg off to get down to 147. 154 is fucking sharks. Shark infested waters. Like shark infested waters. The scariest division in boxing. So if I'm Conor Benn, I get down to 147, where it's not shark infested waters. And I look at a couple of the world champions and look at the 3 world champions, yeah, that I think Conor could have success with. Lewis Crocker could have success with. Not that he beats him, could. Rolly Romero. Am I wrong by saying Conor could have success with him? And Mario Barrios. Right, if I'm Conor, I just get down to 147 and get it cracking with those guys. Get it cracking with them ASAP. Shout out from Derby. Who you got out of Fraser versus TKV in a couple of weeks? Couple of weeks. Guys, I told you I'm not feeling well. We're hanging on here. I have Fraser. Yeah. I like Fraser a lot. I really do. I think people are just all people remember is that Fabio Wardley knockout, and I get it. But Fraser's good as long as he's fully recovered from that. Fraser's good. Fraser could beat a lot of the top guys, British guys, world guys. Maybe might be a step too far, but British guys, I think Fraser does a lot of them. This is so true. This is such a good question. What's happened? Lone Wolf Boxing. I might tweet this. Hey, Ade, what happened to the crazy trailers for the ring cards? Always built up the hype for the matches. You should do top 10 pound for pound active UK boxers with G Man. Could be a fun list. Keep up the great work. Me and G Man just did top 10 British heavyweight list. That will be out tomorrow. But you're so right. What happened? Like, did we even get? I don't think we even got a trailer for Canelo Crawford, did we? Don't think we did. Maybe that's what's lacking. I think it needs it. I think it needs it. Although, I don't think of the last one. Did the last one have thingy in it like KSI and Speed? I didn't like that one. But yeah, maybe it does miss the trailers. The trailers were really, really good. I think that's a big miss. I think like the trailers were incredible. Like the best one for me will be, I think the 5 versus 5, Frank and Eddie. That was kind of like a snatch feel to it. I think the first one, Fury and Garner, I thought was really good, and the Bivol Beterbiev one was sensational because that was almost a bit like just old school, like just fucking great. I love that one so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Frazee says Itama versus Makhmudov was the fight to make, in my opinion. I don't know why no one spoke about that. I think we didn't speak about that because Makhmudov was chasing AJ. Like if Makhmudov called out Itama, which might have been a good idea to do, I think we would have spoken about it. But there is so much that goes on behind the scenes that we do not know. For example, I see Billy Nelson has tweeted that Bacoli accepted the fight. So Bacoli was offered the Itama fight. But then I saw Lee Eaton, who works for Queensbury. He said that, yes, you were offered it nearly 10 days ago and you didn't get back to us. So I think there's a lot of people that might have got offers, might have priced themselves out, might have declined it. We don't know what goes on. But I wouldn't mind Makhmudov. And you're right. Considering Makhmudov beat Dave Allen, that would have been a good fight to make next. You are correct. I don't mind that next. I think that's a good fight next. All right, where are we? Just trying to get the questions back in order. 2 seconds, guys. I see this one. Ryan Shepard says, do you think we'll get more 5 versus 5 cards in 2026? I was debating with a friend about a 5 versus 5 of Black American versus Black British fighters. And now I wish it would happen. You need to write that down. You need to give me the list. I need the list. Who is it? I need the list. Come on. Come on. Okay. Jack Dutton says Lopez versus Shakur does bigger numbers in the US than Boots versus Ortiz. I don't know if it does. I'm not. And I think someone said this earlier. The reason you've got a chance with Boots and Ortiz is only and solely. Hey, firstly, both guys are big guys, right? Big fighters. But it's the Eddie and Oscar effect. Eddie and Oscar will sell this fight. Will sell the hell out of this fight. The only reason Tio and Shakur might do better, and I think you're right, I'm with you, by the way, is Tio and Shakur talk. Boots and Virgil don't talk. I mean, that thing they did in the ring was like, oh my God, these guys talk. They don't talk. They fight. Tio and Shakur will say some bullshit. The face-off will be explosive. The press conference will be explosive. And I think that will sell the fight. So I'm with you, actually. I think Lopez and Shakur does more. You're right. Do you think there's a possibility that Ortiz versus Boots will become part of a 5 versus 5 of Matchroom versus Golden Boy? I'm waiting for the return of the 5 versus 5 format, and Eddie versus Oscar build-up promo would be gold. It's a great idea. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I almost feel like it'll be a standalone, and then it'll just be undercard. Like, I think they're going to struggle to pay Boots versus Ortiz. I think the numbers that both of those guys want is going to be astronomical. So unless Turkey and Riyadh season jump on it, which I don't know if they will, I don't think you get the money to pay the other 4 versus 4. Because ultimately, in that 4 versus 4, you're going to have big names, right? It's going to be big names, not going to be duds. And so you're going to need a lot of money, and I just don't think you're going to get that. So, I think we are just going to see, and fingers crossed we see it, Boots versus Virgil, and that's it. Spen Boxon says, not sure if this has already been asked, but do you think Eubank Jr. makes the weight this time? And does it impact the performance if he does? What was he out by last time? A pound? I think regardless if he makes or doesn't make, I think he's got a problem making 160. Like, you think about it. He fought George Groves at 168 7, 8 years ago. He's 36. Eubank should be at 168. Eubank should have been at 168 years ago. Eubank is killing himself. I know he's slim and I know he walks around in shape, but he must be killing himself to make 160. So even if he does make the weight, even if he does make the rehydration cap weight, I think he has a problem regardless. That being said, I mean, look, we saw that he had enough in the tank just to get through the last fight. And what I mean by that is because, look, in the end, he won it comfortably on the scorecards, 116, 112. But physically, you could see how much that fight took out of him. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. What else have we got? Which is the best arena you've ever been to for a boxing event? Ooh, that's a great question. That is a great question. What is the best arena? I'm gonna say Madison Square Garden just because of the history. Like, when you go down the corridors, it's all old, and you've got all the posters on the wall. And I think it's, in terms of for a viewing, I think there's not a bad seat in the house for Madison. It's like that. I don't know if anyone's ever been. You've been Madison Square Garden. It's a bit like that. So it's like that. So there's no bad seat. Like, even if you're here, you can see it. I say that's the ring. It's kind of like that. So everyone's got a great seat, and then it's quite tight. Like, it's as big as the O2 Arena in terms of attendance, but you wouldn't know it because it looks smaller when you're inside. So it's all quite, every seat's quite tightly knit next to each other. So it's a great atmosphere. So I want to say MSG, followed by the O2 Arena. Which young British boxer, aside from Italma, do you think has the brightest future in the sport? I love the way you say aside from Italma, because you know I'm gonna go fucking straight to Italma. Which young boxer? Who else out there is like, oh my, depends what you mean by young. Is Dalton Smith classed as young? I don't know if that's classed as young. I don't know if Adam Azim is classed as young. I'm not sure if any of these guys tick that box. But if Dalton Smith is classed as young, I'm going to say Dalton. I like Dalton a lot. There was a kid the other day. I think they said he's Hamza Shiraz's cousin. I don't know if that's true or not. He fought on the Bournemouth card, and he fought recently as well. Like, he comes in really early. I'm not joking. This kid has clearly watched every single Floyd Mayweather fight. And I need to get his name up. He's clearly watched every single Floyd Mayweather and Jack Catchell fight. Sorry, Jack Catchell. Vasily Lomachenko fight. I'm going to get his name up 1 second. I thought he was incredible. He fought on that Ryan Garner Bellotti card, I think. Come on, my battery's on like 2%. I've got to tell you this guy's name. If it comes up, I'll know. And I remember just thinking, he's sensational. And I remember it wasn't just me. Like, everyone was thinking that this guy is so good. All right, what's his name? Is it Hassan Ishak? It might be Hassan Ishak, you know. I think it is Hassan Ishak. They call him the shooter. I think it's him. Yeah, I think it's him. I think, look, he's fighting nobodies. All right, Ade, calm down. I think it's him. Hassan Ishak. Remember the name. Remember the name. Super chat here from a guy called Henry. What's he saying? Hello, mate. I'm really hoping Eubank will skip the rehydration clause. Got any inside info? I wish I had. I wish I had. You know, someone else mentioned this the other day, and the issue with that is, if he does skip it, I mean, I don't know if it's still $500,000 for £1, but like, there's some people that have forfeited rehydration caps and paid a fine of $1 million, whatever. I think Danny Jacobs did it. Might have did it against Canelo. I don't think Eubank can afford to do this. I think they're very, very strict on that. Like, you miss it, you will pay the money. I'm with you. I'd rather him just say no, fuck that. But I don't think he can afford to do it. By the way, this guy's kicking ass right now. Any a guy called Henry, fucking hell. Like, he did a live the other day. I was going to message him for Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lupin. I was like, Jesus Christ, the commitment. But honestly, one of the fastest growing boxing YouTube channels. I'm pretty sure he's sailing towards 21 or 22,000. Might be more than that. So look, if you guys are watching this and you haven't subscribed to his channel, you know what to fucking do. All right. Oh, actually, look, someone said in terms of best young talent, Tia Ayton for that last question. Yeah, but you and you might be right. The problem is obviously she will be fast tracked as soon as she's like ready. I spoke to her the other day. I interviewed her the other day. So you might be right. She could be the answer. But that kid that I saw, I'm not joking. If you can, this is his name again. I hope it's the right guy I'm talking about. Hassan Ishak. If you can go and watch his fights, go and watch his fights and then come back to me. And again, I know he's fighting nobodies. I know that. But you can just see it sometimes, right? Sometimes you can see it. And everyone on comms was like, my God, this guy's got everything. So yeah. 2 seconds. All right, let's get back to the questions. All right, where are we? What's this one? Greg Milligan says Hergovich or Dubois versus Parker. Who you got, Ade? Think that's a great fight to make to get all in the title shot mix with a win. Well, Dubois beat Hergovich. Dubois. So no. So the answer really is Dubois versus Parker. That's what they should be doing. I mean, I think Sam Jones said we are going to get some news on who Dubois fights next, and that's gone a bit quiet. Really and truly, as soon as Parker's ready to go, maybe give Dubois a run out if he wants to run out. But I want to see Dubois Parker. We were supposed to see that a long time ago, and it didn't happen. No one seems to know why. Like, kind of mysterious, isn't it? But I want to see that. I think that's a great fight. Dylan Goodrich backs me up. I'd love to see Dubois versus Parker happen next. Winner straight back into a title picture. Yeah. You know what I really want to see? Wardley Dubois. I want to see that fight. That's the fight I want to see. Everyone's been saying things like Talma versus Wardley. I get it, right? But Wardley versus Dubois. Because right now, there is a serious question. Like, Fury is retired. We don't know what's going on with AJ. Who is the top dog in Britain? I still think you can make an argument, and a real great argument, for Daniel Dubois. I really do. You look at what he's done and who he lost to. He's only 2 defeats on that have been sandwiched by wins against Hergovich, Miller, and AJ at Usyk. No shame in losing to Usyk. No shame at all. Ade, Bivol versus Benavidez or Bivol versus Beterbiev or Bivol versus Benavidez. Bivol. I've seen Bivol Beterbiev 3 times. Dude, you kind of missed one out there. So what you should have said was Bivol versus Beterbiev, Bivol versus Benavidez, Benavidez versus Beterbiev. And the answer would have been Benavidez versus Beterbiev. Now that I want to see. Brick versus brick. That I want to see desperately. Desperately. Is there any truth to what? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What on earth? What? No chance. Absolutely not. We care too much about gate numbers, ticket sales, pay-per-view numbers, etc. BS, even though we shouldn't. It's a good fight. It's a good fight, then it's worth it. Yeah, I do think we've got too carried away with that kind of stuff. And I get it. I think before we used to like use it to give stick to a fighter or a promoter or whatever, or a broadcaster. Let's just enjoy the fights. Honestly, let's just enjoy the fights. Like, everyone's so obsessed about it's not sold out and this happened and that happened, and just enjoy the fights. God. There we go. Where are we? Oh, I have Haney dropping Norman. Yeah. There was only one press conference and nothing for the undercard again. Okay, so two different parts here. He has Haney dropping Norman. Pause. Stop. Okay, and move on. Even though that's a bit crazy, I do think Haney can hurt him, but dropping him, I'm not quite sure. And there was only one press conference. He's referring to Eubank versus Benn. One press conference. Nothing for the undercard. Nothing. I mean, come on. The undercard, there's a bit of heat between a few of those fighters. Now, Sam Gilly and Ishmael Davis would have got into it. I know for a fact. I don't know why there's not been a presser for the undercard. Don't understand. Crazy. 2 secs, peeps. Oh, this guy just sent me in. How do I send this money back? Is there a way to send money back? Super chat. Is there a way to kind of reject them? I want to reject that. How dare you come into my live and say Man City? The cheek of it, incredible. No respect for elders, no respect for nothing. All right, 2 seconds, people. 147 as the name, but can Benn still make 147? Hasn't made it in years. You know why I know Benn can make it, yeah? I don't know if you guys have seen. Benn's obviously been sparring Ishmael Davis. Bear in mind, Ishmael Davis, for his fight against Sam Gilly, is making 154. Benn, for his fight, is making 160. Look at the size difference between Ishmael Davis and Conor Benn. Again, one's having to make 154. One's allowed to make 160. Ishmael Davis looks 2 weight classes above Conor Benn, which tells me Conor Benn can make 147, people. Conor Benn can definitely make 147. Conor Benn's going to come in to this fight, again, around 153, 154. Can definitely make 147, without a doubt. Ade, what would your game plan be if you were training Benn for the Eubank rematch? Don't be as aggressive as you were. I felt like Benn blew a gas tank after round 5 and 6. Obviously, he's young, he's fit, he kept on going, but just be a bit like try and box a bit more. Like, go back and watch your dad in the second fight. Like, Benn actually fought like his dad in the first fight. Go and watch how your dad fought Eubank in the second fight. And it was a boxing match. Yes, when you need to throw, you need to throw. But it was more of a boxing match. You're younger. Like, what you can do is stay in the fight from rounds 1 to 9 and then fucking go like a madman from rounds 10 to 12 because you got the energy. I think he kind of spent all his energy in the early rounds and there wasn't much left in the latter rounds. Okay, I like this. I like this. King OP the Great says, yes, Ade, had to disagree heavily with your take on Ortiz versus Boots next. They both have a fight next that will boost their profiles, i.e. Crawford. I know Crawford now, post Canelo. Money needs to match their skills. Okay, this is interesting. So what he's referring to is that obviously there's a lot of talk now about Ortiz versus Spence, and there's a lot of talk about Boots versus Charlo. Don't mind it. I don't mind these fights. And you're right. Look, Boots and Ortiz will be massive favorites in both fights, and it will boost their profile. But I hate the idea of these semifinals. If there's a fight to be made right there, make it. Why do we keep rolling the dice? Anything can happen in both fights. One of them could lose, could happen. We've seen crazier things, right? Injuries. Like, we're going to lose another fight. We're going to lose another fight. I don't understand why you can't just make the fight. Just make it. But look, you might be right. You might be right. As for their money needs to match their skills, unfortunately, this is boxing. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If it did work like that, Bivol and Beterbiev will be two of the richest boxers on planet Earth. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, money matches what you bring in terms of pay-per-view generation and what you bring in bums on seats. It's not a case of how good you are. Some of the best boxers in the world, like you go down the list of the highest paid boxers in the world, and it won't equate to the list of the best boxers in the world. It just won't. It just won't. So yeah. But I want to see it now. I don't have time to wait for them. Like, I don't want to see Virgil versus Spence. I don't want to see Boots versus Charlo. I don't want to see it. Do not want to see it. The only way I would agree to watching that nonsense is if they're both on the same card. That's the only way. That's it. I'll do that. but that's it. Imagine trying to sell us two separate cards and they make it pay-per-view, fucking Virgil versus Spence, which would be pay-per-view, by the way, people. So all of you wanting it, knowing that's going to be pay-per-view, and Boots versus Charlotte will be pay-per-view as well. Just saying. Ade, given what Crawford just did by going up to 168 and beating Canelo, do you think Boots can go up to 168 and beat any of the top five? It's a big boy, Boots. He's a big boy, but I don't, by the way, I don't have Boots and Crawford in the same like category. I think Crawford is like just outworldly good. I haven't seen that from Boots yet. I mean, Boots is good, but I don't think he's Crawford good, unless that's what you're saying. I'm not saying that. Certainly not. No, sorry. The boxing world needs a Norman victory. I think we do like an upset in boxing. I wouldn't want to see that. I kind of like Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney's great for boxing. Like Devin Haney fights everyone. Like there's not many fighters that do that. Like look at what Devin Haney's been doing. Devin Haney will fight. So I don't want to like, if Devin Haney was one of those fighters like a Javante that just wasn't fighting the right fights, then okay, yeah, but he gives us the fight. So no. I want to see Devin win. I do. Besides Lyndon Arthur, who is Yard actually beat? Like seriously, I don't think he's CV even as a top 20 besides Arthur. So crazy how he's had 3 world title fights. Yeah, look, you're right. You are right. I think the thing is for Yard, it's how he's performed in those title fights. I mean, yes, we're ranking him off losses, but he's looked really good. He's looked really good off losses. So and it's how he's performed against those people and where he's performed. I mean, Kovalev in Russia was brutal. And the fight against Peterbiev was, I think it was the British Fight of the Year. So I think we have to give him credit for those. And I don't think you can say besides Arthur, because Arthur was there. Do you know what I mean? But I get it. I get it. All right, guys, 5 more minutes. The only reason I'm saying 5 more minutes because I'm actually not feeling well. Your boy's hanging on. And tomorrow's a busy day for me. Oh, yeah, I've just been ill and a bit stressed. Oh, good shout, yeah. Isn't Leo a tank, one to look out for? Yes, still very, 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 very early. He's getting bigger though as a heavyweight. I mean, physically, he's getting bigger. He fights on that card in Ghana as well, doesn't he? The Matchroom card. Good fighter. We'll see. We'll see. The issue for him is that he's in a division where he's only a year younger than Moses Talma. That's the issue. And you know what's crazy? When I see them two, I've been around Moses, I've been around Leo. Moses looks about 10 years older. It's not just even his physical appearance, it's just the way he carries himself as well. I just feel like he just seems older. So that's going to be Leo's problem going forward, is that Moses is there. He's always going to be compared to Moses until he fights Moses. And obviously right now he's not ready for that. Mason's soft tissue therapy. 22nd of November, get behind the Brit, Sam Noakes, and the new. I spoke to Sam Noakes last week. I did Talk Sport Drive. He came on, spoke to me and Darren Benn. I'm getting behind him. I really, really like him. I like Sam Noakes a lot. And I think he can chin Abdullah Mason. Mason is a favorite. Mason's such a skilled fighter. But I think Noakes can beat him. I think this is the hardest fight to call on the card. Like, I think most people could Benavidez, Yard, Benavidez, Haney, Norman. I think most would go Haney, maybe. This is the one. And obviously, every time Jesse fights, unless Jesse Bam Rodriguez is fighting God, you're going to say Jesse Bam Rodriguez. I think it's the toughest fight to call. So, yeah. All right. Guys, last one. Don't be upset with me, please. I'm not well. All right, let's go. I'm trying to think of maybe last couple, actually. All right. What's this one? Do you think that Chris will need to stop Benn this time to secure the win? Can you see Chris sustaining another 12 rounds as he really had to dig deep last time? That's my issue. I think he's going to find it hard. I do, because, last time round, it got difficult. There's a reason he was rushed to hospital. It got hard. The weight cut doesn't make it easy. Benn can punch. I know people like to dig Benn about Benn can't punch anymore, all that kind of bullshit. Benn can punch. Benn can hit. Benn's younger. There's a reason that Eubank's brought in Bomac. There's a reason. And there's no disrespect to Jonathan Banks, who's a great trainer, but there's a reason he's gone to Bomac. I think he felt like, okay, we need to switch this up a little bit, which is almost him almost tipping a cap to Benn. Like, Benn, you were a bit better than I thought. Let's get Bomac. Let's get one of the best trainers out there because I need to change a few things. So he's tipped the cap to him. He has. All right, a couple of super chats have just quickly come in. Let's quickly read them before we wrap. All right. What's he done here? My Black American versus Black British 5 versus 5. Oh, okay, I like this. This is good. This is good. Baumgardner versus Dubois. Yes, sir. Obviously, they could never do this. They could never tag it Black fucking American versus Black British. Haney or Norman versus Benn. Oh, man. Miller versus the Talma. I would change that. Oh, actually, no, wait. So I would change that. I would actually have Jared Anderson versus the Talma. Or, no. You know what I'd do? What I would do, I would go Miller versus Fabio Wardley because that was supposed to happen. And then Talma versus Jared Anderson. And Amma Williams versus Denzel Bentley. I like it. Leo Atang is a bit too fresh, too new for Jared Anderson. That's why I wouldn't have Leo there. But yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. Even my British Nigerian, what did you email? And I'll reply. And will you reply if I send you one? Got some stuff to ask you. Keep up the fantastic work. Always reply. So it's Ade at adeoladipo.com. So Ade at adeoladipo.com, people. Let me put it in there, actually, just in case anyone wants to send me an email and say hello. So you guys can see this. Ade, will it give me an at? Oh, it does. At adeoladipo.com. Let's post that. 1 second. And then I can pin it. But there you go. There is my email address. If anyone wants to send me an email, send me something nice, something positive. Do you guys follow me on Instagram? I think a lot of you do, actually. Keep following me. Keep following me on all the social media platforms. Guys, you don't realize, anytime I go through some bullshit on social media, which happens quite often, it's your messages that, like, that help me get through it, because it can get a bit on top sometimes. Anyway, look, tomorrow I start fight week. Tomorrow's the grand arrivals. We have a little bit of a shave. Wednesday, media public workout. Thursday, press conference. Friday, weigh-in. And now I'm going to go to this Box Raw event. Someone's let me know about it. Saturday, your boy takes the mic and does what he does best. I've got a nice little double-breasted, different one. Nice, fresh, brand spanking new. Wait till you guys see this. And it's me. As I said earlier, it's Frampton, it's Bellew, the A-team. And on comms, best team in the business, Barry Jones, Darren Barker, and the voice, Adam Smith. I don't know if we're going to have any special guests. It'd be nice for the big man, AJ, to pop in. Who knows? It'd be nice, but I'm not quite sure. But anyway, guys and girls, thank you so much for joining the live. Peace and love. Enjoy the rest of your week. Loads of videos coming up. Stay safe out there as well.